I just always feel like shouldn't be reading them. I should be. But if it looks okay. And I'm not yesing and knowing it when people are answering too, because it's a bit distracting.
Yeah, as in nod.
Yeah, nod more so than audio.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm the king of soul. Everybody knows. Hey, time coming. Hey, listen to me. I got friends everywhere from the streets to Malacca down on Camden Street. Yeah, you see me coming, crown on my head, scepter in my hand, still smoking, silk cut red. So. marry my queen of Africa. Well, long time coming, hey, tried to frame me those lawyers and judges, but I swore on the Bible and all those Gideons. The ladies love me, the gentlemen too. Keep your hands in your pockets, for you could help the king of soul. Everybody knows I'm the king of soul. Come. Everybody knows I get so lonely when I get to the river. When I get to the river, I'm gonna be a rich, rich man. When I get to the river, I'll marry my queen of Africa, queen of Africa. Oh, take me to the river, yeah. Take me to the river. Take me to the river. I'm the king of soul. Everybody knows I'm the king of soul. Everybody knows soul. Yeah. Take me to the river. So I'm here with Kevin Scully of the Merry Mill, organic farmer extraordinaire, known to recite a poem here and there, and beekeeper, you name it. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing fantastic.
What do you call this? Do you call it the
like, this is our oatmeal.
Oatmeal. Yeah.
So the blueprint for this is in the 1800s, the whole style. So
yeah.
It's all levers.
So that was the height of technology in the 1800s.
That was the height. That's where milling was at. That was the height of technology. That would have been driven by water, and they just changed and put electric motor. So this one's run by three-phase power.
Yeah. So we're asking people, you know, how did they? Was it music? Was it poetry? Was it? I mean, what were the things? Was it keeping busy that kept you going?
Yeah, busy, and then I have a huge interest in poetry and music. So definitely got into listening to an awful lot of tunes.
Yeah.
Like coming down here, putting in the earpods, just got more immersed in music and in spoken word. I love spoken word.
Yeah.
So actually, out of the pandemic, I think my whole listening and all that went to a complete different level and appreciation, because it's only when it's gone you miss it. It's only when you don't have access to a live venue, and the energy from a performer and from a crowd when you're in that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think hopefully people have reevaluated how precious it all is, you know, music. And
I think you'll see a huge upsurge when things open up again. People going back to live venues, just because you crave that. As I say.
Community,
It's community, it's that community spirit. It's when you're with 4,000 or 5,000 like-minded people, all following the same artist, all knowing the words of the same song, all in tandem. That energy is created in that zone. That there's a special energy there.
So Kevin, you have a lot of bees as well, and you keep bees. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, a huge interest in bees. I got into beekeeping maybe 5-6 years ago, and then during the pandemic, I was reading stuff online about bee therapy huts. Now, there's some in America, and there's a few around the world. So we created one here on the farm. This is where it all.
Lovely, yeah, lovely space.
This is the concept here. So the bees are in under here. Now, she's not full yet. We've a small hive there and a bigger hive here. When she's full, there'll be 3 full hives, and there'll be about 150,000 bees underneath you.
Wow.
Like at the moment, there's about 15,000. So there'll be a really good micro vibration when we have her full up.
Right,
but jump on her there, Jack.
I like if I meditate, I hum a lot. I find humming very relaxing. I'm trying to see what key they're humming in at the moment. But
you hum along to it. So I come down here twice a day, and I just focus on the sound of the bees. So I lie down there and I just listen to the sound. And once you hear it, then it starts building up. And if you only can do that for a minute or 2 minutes, I try and do 5 minutes where my whole brain is just focused on listening to the bees. And it feels so refreshing, because it's the same as meditation. Your brain is focused on one thing, it stops thinking. And it's all about distracting, I think, your brain away from other things. So if you pick up, I did just lie down, pick up a stone, pull it there, put my hand, and then I'm feeling the texture of the stone. And then I'm trying to get my brain just to feel and sense rather than think. Everyone else is getting horse box and selling coffee out of it, and I said, let's go bees in ours. Let's go for bees in a horse box. This is a more simpler idea.
Well, Kevin, we're here and you're cutting the oats at the moment. I've tasted the beautiful porridge that you have supplied with me over time. So this is all, no pesticides, nothing, just completely organic.
Yeah, it's completely organic. So this was sown now in October, completely chemical free, no chemical fertilizers, no pesticides, no herbicides. This is grown in complete harmony with nature. Mother Nature, we stick this in the ground. And Mother Nature looks after it, but the trick is getting the soil healthy. It works the same as your gut. Healthy soil keeps a plant healthy, or healthy gut keeps our body healthy.
We would know each other from maybe getting together now and then and having a session here and there, and you're always a good man to recite an old poem, so I wonder if you'd like to give us a little bit of something while we're walking here on this beautiful day.
I have a little poem that's probably very fitting in the pandemic. It was written by Emily Dickinson, and it goes like this. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches on the soul. It sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Sweet is in the gale is heard, sore must be the storm that could abash that little bird that kept so many warm. I heard it in the strangest land and on the wildest sea, but never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
Woo. Beautiful. Gotta frighten the crows away with applause.
Yeah, get the crows moving.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Mr. Penny Sherlock on the trombone, ladies and gentlemen.
That's life, that's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May, but I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top back on top in June. Oh, said that's life. And funny as it may seem, some creeps get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I don't ever let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life, and I can't deny it. I thought I quitting, baby, but my heart just won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I jump right on a big old bird and then I fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, baby, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life, and I can't deny it. I thought I quitting, baby, but my heart just won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big bowl and die. My, that's life, yeah. Stardust falling from your eyes. It's only cheap makeup, but this happy fool is mesmerized. This happy fool is hypnotized. Stardust falling from your eyes, softly drifting down. Beauty's song is amplified. beauty's tune is amplified. Stardust falling from your hands, just like some shooting star. You just arrived to say goodbye. You just arrived to say
When the world changed and went into lockdown, my place of solace was at the top of a hill in the country, a long way from the road trips and gigs and more road trips and more gigs. It didn't take long before I was missing it all. No one could go more than 2 kilometers from their home, so with only mountains as an audience, I started to do what I do, play music. At first, it felt like singing into a void, but it made everything feel a little more normal, whatever that is, was, or will be. These concerts were my postcards from the edge, my way of expressing myself and singing the body electric. And it turned out that while I was out in the wilderness, I wasn't the only one feeling this way. People would respond with their messages, requesting songs, saying hello to loved ones in a foreign land, sharing stories of joy and sadness. It's this experience and these postcards from the edge that have inspired this new program. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm ready to get out, to meet people again, to chat and find out how they got on and what got them through. That's what this show is all about, meeting real people and sharing their stories. And of course, there will be lots of music and crack along the way.
Welcome, one and all, to Postcards from the Edge. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're all doing well and are all having a good week. That opening song was one of my own called Stardust. You may know it, a very popular one live. And shortly I'll be singing a Bowie classic. So keep hitting the like buttons and keep sharing this with your friends. And just a reminder that tickets are now on sale for their 3 arena gig. So take a look at this. I think we have some promo for that.
I'm the king of Soho. I'm so far gone that it seems like home. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Wake up, boy. Use your head. Come on, Georgie boy.
Well, there you have it. Now, tonight's show is all about diversity and inclusion. We are live right now, so don't wait. Get in touch. Send us your comments. We are live on. We'll show you how to get in touch now. Have a look at this.
Hi, this is Jack Lukeman, and I'm looking for your pandemic stories for my new web show, Postcards from the Edge. Please send me your poems, songs, messages, videos, or even just a request digitally. Tag your content online with hashtag JackLPostcards or send a message to any of the accounts shown here.
To post your postcards free of charge, send them to Postcards from the Edge, P.O. Box 13420, Free Post FDN 7530, Dublin 2. This is for all the heroes out there during this time. All right. I will be king, and you will be queen, and nothing will keep us together. We can beat them forever and ever. We can be heroes just for one day. What you say now? Boy, I wish I could swim like dolphins can swim, and nothing drive them away. We can beat them just for one day. We can be heroes just for one day. What you say now? I can remember standing by the wall, and the gun shot above our heads, and we kissed as though nothing could fall, and the shame was on the other side. We can beat them forever and ever. We can be heroes just for one day. What you say now? Just for one day.
It got me back on the road to man shed, and I would have been lost without it now, to be honest with you, you know.
Everybody who comes to the shed will tell you something different about what the shed does for you, but for me, it's made me smile again.
So last week we tried to chat with Enda Egan, head of the Irish Men's Shed Association, but he had a power cut. So I'm delighted to say he is live with me in studio now. Hi Enda, lovely to finally meet you.
Hey Jack, great to be here.
Thanks for coming, yeah. And tell us all about Men's Shed Association, what it's all about.
Yeah, so the Men's Shed concept started off in Australia and it came to Ireland in about 2009 or thereabouts, and it literally exploded right across the country. So we have 360 sheds in the Republic of Ireland, a further 90 in the north, and we have more sheds per head of capita in Ireland than we have in any other country in the world. So the men's shed concept, I suppose, where men come together in a shed. You don't have to have any particular skills. Some people think, you know, you have to be good at woodwork or good at metalwork. That's not the case. There is something for everybody in the shed, and all are welcome.
And tell us how the sheds were impacted by COVID, and how were you able to pivot on that?
Yeah, look, COVID's had a huge impact. Sheds were closed all over the country, huge loss of camaraderie and friendship for men, and one thing we noticed was that, you know, loneliness before COVID, men reported in the sheds at around 1.2%, and then during COVID that went up to almost 40%, so it just gives you an indication how important the shed is for men. Sheds did loads of kind of different things. You know, there's a shed up in Hollywood in County Down, and it got involved in this local forest and it made an enchanted garden for you know, kids with special needs, and one of the great things about it was it consulted with those kids and the families, and what you have there is a sensory garden that's the whole community is now involved in, and it was very important to the men because the community often donated loads of say tools and funding and that for the shed, so they got a great opportunity to give back. And we have a shed over in Strandford Lough, it's that little peninsula that sticks out there in County Antrim, a lovely part of the country, and they grew a lot of vegetables and stuff in their own garden because they have a garden around the shed, and they were able to give that out to elderly people that lived on their own. So loads of sheds tried to do different kind of things, but it was all about the men coming together outside of the shed, obviously when they could do so with public health guidelines.
Yeah, it really is community based, which is the fantastic thing about it. And what other shedders, is that a word? Would you call yourself shedders? What did you do to help out where needed? I mean, the vegetables and stuff would have been one aspect of it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I suppose the men in the sheds generally get known as shedders, and that's the kind of international sort of term that's used. Yeah. So loads of things. I think you know, one of the important things was to try and keep that sort of friendship going, keep the connections going. Lots of men got into using things like WhatsApp and using social media and things that they would never have been involved in before, you know, Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, and trying to keep that connection all the time and meeting up throughout where they could outside. The shed down in Hollywood Roundwood in County Wicklow, and they consider themselves to be the highest shed in Ireland, so they're quite elevated down there over that. And I think think when they added up all their ages together, one day when they were outside sitting on the park bench, they realised that there was over 1,000 years of knowledge between them all. So they kind of called themselves the Google Shed, because they reckon any question you want to know, they're able to answer it.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So you were kind of in virtual sheds during the
Yeah,
pandemic.
exactly. Anything just to try and keep the contact going between men, and like the average age of men in the sheds is around 69, and the shed is really important at that point of transition in a person's life when they're going from maybe being retired, from working to retirement. And for many people, I suppose their job represents who they are, and suddenly, you know, on a Friday you finish your job, and on a Monday you're lost, you know, so the shed is really important at any point in that kind of transition in a person's life, you know.
Yeah, well, this week's show is all about diversity and inclusion. So can you maybe tell us about the various types of characters you get in, and also, are there women's sheds?
Yeah, so I suppose the values of the shed concept is all built on inclusion and equality and honesty. And the one thing that I can genuinely say around the sheds is that no one cares who you are. You come as you are, like the Nirvana song. You turn up and you're accepted as that. And you know, there is the kind of, I suppose, you know, view out there that men don't really talk about kind of personal issues or about health issues or whatever. But when you put men together building, you know, a bench, for example, for a local tidy towns group, you know, suddenly after half an hour, everyone working on that knows a lot of stuff about each other, which they probably wouldn't have talked about if they were sitting like us here in chairs looking at each other, you know. So when men come together, you know, with a common kind of purpose, they really start to open up and they make great friendships, and everybody's welcome. It doesn't matter about you know, what nationality you're from, what religion you are, what colour you are. No one cares in the shed. Everyone's accepted, and there's a role for everybody.
And there's women's sheds too.
So yeah, there's about 30 women's sheds around there, and that's something that's still starting to grow and starting to expand. Yeah.
Fantastic. And as regards the effects of COVID, how will it affect you maybe going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the real sad part of this is that we would have real concerns that about 55 sheds around the country that might not open up after COVID. And there's a couple of reasons for this. For some sheds, I suppose, you know, funding generation is all around, say, fundraising events. For many sheds, a lot of their bills, like rent, kept going over COVID. So unfortunately, there are some financial issues. But some of the key things are that, you know, some of the real leaders in some sheds may not be in a position to come back, because unfortunately they're like 2 years older now, and for health reasons outside of COVID, you know, they just haven't the ability maybe to come back and be involved in the shed. And so, you know, one of the things we really have to do after COVID is get new members involved in the sheds, get people to realise, you know, that there's a shed nearby, that you don't have to be good with your hands, you know, you can just come along to the shed and there's loads of things to do. You know, the most important tool in the shed is a kettle, and some sheds have 2 or 3 kettles, you know, so there's a role for everybody.
Absolutely brilliant. The concept is fantastic, it really is, and the best of luck with it. Thanks, Enda, for making it this week. We didn't have any power cuts, thank God. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Make sure to check out the website, menshed.ie, to learn more. So thanks a million, Enda. And as you know, we've been spotlighting various up-and-coming musicians and hearing their postcards from the edge. This week is the turn of the X Collective. People, strength, connection, togetherness, belonging. These are the things that make a community. And this is a group of artists who are diverse in their particular art form and what they have to offer, but alike in their itch to create and collaborate. This is what makes the X Collective, and this is their postcard.
X Collective is the brainchild of myself and Emily. Emily's background would be in promotion and mine would be in live music, so I guess that we had a lot of similar ideas, and this would have been maybe just before the pandemic. No, how long were we working? Maybe 6 or 7 months before? So yeah, I guess in that time we had a lot of circles that kind of knew each other, so it was just a matter of bringing those circles together, and I guess that was how it all began.
So the idea behind it was pitched to us that it's a collective, that it offers opportunity for our band or artists to cross-collaborate, gig, and essentially just create, like a network of other musicians that are like-minded, not strictly alike in terms of sound, but able to collaborate in interesting ways and produce music and creative things that will be beneficial to everybody.
This is my time to get what I came from. Focus on me, I don't give no favors. So things don't like my favor. I was ordained to heaven, he paid myself and neglected me, so let me be. I know my guide, he set me right on the path, seek my freedom.
So the collective would be a community genre-wise based around pop, R&B, neo-soul, jazz, funk, hip-hop. And I guess we were looking to establish a platform that highlighted those specific genres in Ireland, because our goal is essentially the same. All of us want to go in a certain direction musically, so when you have other people there to actually help you out, then the journey is much easier.
Yeah, it's essentially a community of creatives as well, not just musicians. Different types of creatives, videographers, photographers, directors, graphic designers. So it's a bunch of creatives, and it's like the full product of the song essentially from start to finish.
Definitely such a great emphasis on community, knowing that you have people there that are going to back you, that are going to cheer for you, and even for you to feel like you're cheering for other people, that it's not just you're in isolation. I'm an artist in Ireland, but you are part of something bigger, and that you can see the potential for growth within other people and within yourself. It's great to be part of.
I think it works really well, actually. Everybody seems open to collaborate, open to ideas, and people that we wouldn't have connected with outside of the collective, that we wouldn't have, thought to ask to collaborate. We've kind of been working with people like that, and it's been a really, really enjoyable experience, I think.
Nobody was gigging anywhere, so going over to anyone's house, you couldn't leave outside of your, how many kilometers? 5 kilometers. So that wasn't a possibility in terms of keeping everyone in their bubbles. But what we did do was I think it was myself, I know it was myself and Tyler McKay. We did a song together where I was in Berlin writing there. She was in Dublin. There was another girl in a different part of Germany. And we wrote that song entirely virtually. In fact, those artists have never met one another, and they're on the same song. And it's the same with the videographer, the animator. They were in different parts of Europe. So it just forced us to be like, okay, we can't use our immediate circle of people that we always use, so who can we use? And then we found that everyone actually is really hungry to create right now and to collaborate and to stay connected, because when you're at home by yourself all the time, that energy can be stagnant, and when you're not getting stimulation from your surrounding areas, then it's like, where do I go to? Who do I reach out to? So naturally that kept myself and Emily extremely busy.
Well, within the collective, hopefully we can continue to collaborate with folks and make more music. We wrote a good amount of material, and I think it's really good, and I'm looking forward to having actual audiences see that. As a just a fan of music, I'm looking forward to seeing all of my fellow members perform.
I think the pandemic in a way as well helped us all to upskill. Well, certainly for myself and Emily, we had to upskill in many different areas, and it all just came naturally. But yeah, that would have been a huge benefit to learn new things alongside other people during the pandemic.
I think without the pandemic, launching a new project is really hard, and expecting it to go really well straight away. So it kind of it took the pressure off of not needing to gig every weekend and not needing to release immediately, and just working behind the scenes and being able to create. And now I think we're in a better position to actually, in the next few months, officially start putting stuff out. So it's it'll be our official launch of stuff.
Having that community was an outlet towards connecting with people that you know of on a more personal level. And then I think the pandemic in itself probably also just made a lot more artists humble and open towards having that conversation and being like, hey, really like what you do. Have you ever thought of doing X, Y, and Z? So it was the perfect platform in which those really honest and kind of, just more humble conversations can happen, and where the work can come out of it too.
And when things get too much, you like to hide.
It really helped me. because music is kind of my outlet and my thing, my kind of way to express myself. And I didn't have that during the pandemic, in lockdown and stuff like that. So being able to have this collective and have so many projects and so many goalposts to work towards really work for me, because I need that kind of thing.
I know they passed the microphone to me, the flow you know is so complete, colder than the snow in season, blowing in the back of me. Actually, I'm casually just snapping on a slower beat, posted on the boat to show you folks that I am so
I think people don't necessarily always realize like how lonely and like difficult, the challenging, I guess, being an artist can be, because you're learning something that's most of your circle or your family or your friends have no idea about. It's hard to relate to them sometimes about your struggles or your, you know, it's like, oh, you're a musician, you're doing great, everything's fine. Yeah, like, oh, that must be so fun. But it comes with its own set of like ridiculous challenges, crazy hurdles, and
really difficult naturally as a musician, and your livelihood is gone. And then you're like, well, what am I supposed to do here? So we were just like, let's just keep on making these opportunities for ourselves, and hopefully if we do something right, then, you know, people will respond. And we're lucky enough that we've been getting a great response so far. So.
I like the mic, yeah. It's on my mic, yeah. I like the smack, yeah. I hope I don't get COVID. Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Roisin Donoghue. She's going to sing this one with me. Please, a round of applause. Open your borders and your head and your heart. Ik smuine fuit an shot. I smell fame. I need to find someone to help me clean them up.
Time will take its toll on a homeless soul. You become love's refugee.
So open your borders and let me in. I don't wanna climb no barbed wire or battlements. Open your borders, just give the order. Open your borders
and let me in.
Summer days go longer as life gets shorter. Hearts start growing cold if you remain alone.
You gotta take a chance, you gotta get up and dance. You know the song.
So open your borders and let me in. No need for martyrs or patriots. Open your borders, just give the order. Open your
all you need is love you.
Oh, thanks to Roisin. That was a joy to sing, sounding fabulous. Now please, will you welcome my next guest, Philippa Ryder, who is joining us hopefully virtually. Are you there?
I believe I am indeed, Jack, and thank you very much for having me along, and thanks to the team as well.
This is my first ever virtual interview, so I'll start with this one. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey and why you helped to form Under the Rainbow?
Well, I was invited along to a breakfast one morning in about 2019, early 2019, and it was a good friend of mine, Dermot McCarthy, who introduced me to a friend of his. They're both psychotherapist counselors, and we had a chat. We discussed the fact that we were all being asked to do talks and to do presentations around the whole field of diversity, inclusion and equity. And from that breakfast meeting, Under the Rainbow was born. And a couple of weeks later, we had an office in Capel Street, and we just basically grew from there. And it was it's a pleasure to be involved in it, because I feel like we provide an amazing service.
And how did you continue to support your clients during the pandemic?
Well, we have two aspects to Under the Rainbow. One is the therapy centre, where the clients come in and they discuss their issues, their problems, basically their mental health. And with the clients and with the pandemic, obviously we couldn't do face-to-face. It was too risky. Well, it wasn't allowed for a lot of the time. And even when it became possible, we decided to stay more or less completely online, because we were finding that people were actually embracing the online environment. It gave us a lot more, I suppose it gave us a lot more capability to see more patients, or patients, I shouldn't say patients, but clients. And it's worked out very well. And the other side of Under the Rainbow is the diversity, inclusion and equity training that we deliver to the corporate, to government and to community. And that has been a godsend in a way, to be able to do this by Zoom or by Teams, as I'm talking to you tonight. That has been brilliant, because it's allowed us to reach a much wider audience, and we have benefited a lot in a way from the pandemic, but also it means that you lose the buzz of the live performance. And that sounds funny if you're doing training or talks or whatever, but I mean, you gave a great performance there, Jack, and I'm sure if you were stuck in a room on your own and just performing over Zoom, there's no fun, there's no excitement to it. And that's the way we feel about the talks that we deliver. But it does enable us to talk to people all over the world, you know?
Yeah, well, I found a way of making the old Zoom live thing in a room on our own work in some respect. This is an evolution of it. Can you tell us a little bit about the maps behind you? Because it's a fantastic background you have.
Yeah, thanks. My other job is as a civil servant, and I've worked in the Property Registration Authority for 40 years. So I'm retiring next year. Yippee! And thank you. And so I work as a digital mapping person. I'm a qualified surveyor as well. And I just have a passion for maps. So you've got Ireland, you've got Turin, you've got Paris, you've got yeah, a couple of other nice maps there as well. And it's just, I do really appreciate the cartography, the effort that goes into producing a hand-drawn map. And some of these, although they're not original, well, one of them is an original, but some of them are just so beautifully crafted that it is artwork.
What sort of EDI, equality, diversity and inclusion services do you offer, and how can people access them?
Right, well, basically we offer workplace solutions on everything to do with diversity and inclusion. And we give seminars, we develop programs with companies and government agencies, and professional support programs, which are really, really important. We have found a lot of corporate clients coming to us because their staff are either coming back to work, having been off for 18 months, working at home perhaps, and the whole mental stress around that means that they might need a little bit of coaching, they might need a little bit of consulting with a counsellor, and that's what we do as well. And then we just do general EDI training. When we started out, most of our team and our directors are part of the LGBTQ community. So we very much focused on that. It wasn't even that we focused on it, but rather the LGBTQ people within corporate and government came to us asking for training. So that sort of training is one of our more popular, if you like, streams. And we really do enjoy, because we're so familiar and so knowledgeable about the LGBTQ community, we can deliver trainings, and all our trainings are delivered bespoke. So we talk to the clients, we say exactly what you want, and we will organize, or we will tailor a program around exactly what you want.
Again, what does Under Your Rainbow need going forward to enable you to continue making an impact and reaching those that need the services?
Well, certainly the therapy side of things is expanding continuously, and we're looking for more therapists. We're looking for bigger premises, because we will go back to face-to-face. I think face-to-face, now I'm not a therapist or a counsellor, but from what I understand, face-to-face can help a lot of people in that you miss a lot of the body movements and the facial expressions. Even on Zoom, it's more difficult to interact and to build up a relationship with your counsellor. So we will, going forward, be looking for bigger premises and more therapists, because the clients are out there. The people are out there. They desperately need help.
With everything, and thanks for joining us, Philippa. And I wish you continued success, and please check out undertherainbow.ie to learn more. And here's a little VT, I think.
I started doing my gotcha with a like-minded group in 2019. It's been so fun, and it's been really nice to do it in a space where I don't have to explain myself as a trans person.
It's basically all focused on the young queer experience.
Never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. Only one time I wanna see you laughing. Only wanna see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. see you bathing in the purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. Only wanna be some kind of friend. Yeah, yeah. Baby, I can never steal you from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Oh, purple rain, purple rain. I only wanna see you underneath the purple rain. Honey, I know times have changed. It's time we all reached out for something new. That means you too. You say I want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. Let me close it, and let me guide you to the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only wanna see you underneath the purple rain. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to get through this thing called life.
Oh, well, that's not an easy song to sing. I hope you enjoyed it. That was, of course, the Purple Maestro Prince's 80s classic, Purple Rain. So let me read a few messages coming in tonight. Love these postcards, love poetry and music. Mags Frost. Men's Shed. If Jack set up one, it would be called Lukeman's Shed. Lukeman's Shed. Okay, very good, very good. Looking forward to see you in Mount Errigal on Friday night. Maybe you might climb Mount Errigal when you're up. Oh, yeah, I'm up in Letterkenny at the weekend. Caroline O'Sullivan. Good on you, featuring Men's Sheds. Brilliant initiative, Elizabeth Ryan. We also have a postcard from Instagram from Geraldine McGrath. Hi Jack, my story starts when I lost my job as activities coordinator in a local nursing home just as COVID hit. I injured my back, so on top of dealing with lockdown, I was faced with never working full-time again. It was just my daughter and I, and she was struggling between studying for the Leaving Cert and no contact with friends, which took its toll on her, but she was glad to have me home. As time went on, she struggled mentally. I got her Brezi's book, me and my mate Jeffrey. This really changed her life. A huge thanks to Brezi and the help his book and podcasts have given people. His song Pounding the Pavement encouraged her to start running. Then, the get out of jail free card, no Leaving Cert, yes, which was a great relief for her. She's now in secondary year studying veterinary nursing, and I'm a proud mammy, good on her. Myself, well, in the midst of all this, I did some art to keep busy, and while listening to Jack L CDs, even better. I even caught Emer singing along to Chocolate Eyes. You really kept me going, and lots of others saying, which are Saturday night gigs. We danced around our kitchens for one night of the week and forgot our problems. Forever grateful to you for that, and I'm grateful for you for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time to read my story, Ger. Thanks a million. And P.S. I'll get to see my son for New Year's. Haven't seen him in a year and a half. Wow. He's in Germany. Well, hello to him too. Thanks a million, Geraldine. Now, another one of Wheel's charity partners is Gashka. And I got to meet two young artists, Robert and Beth, whose work is included in Gashka Like-Minded project, which in turn became part of Queer Mind, Body and Soul exhibition, which is still running in the National Gallery of Ireland and was Ireland's first LGBTQ plus exhibition and was curated by Kate Trenan. So have a look at this. Hi Kate, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Can you tell us a little bit about the exhibition?
We're currently standing in Queer Mind, Body and Soul. It is a collection of artworks by 16 young LGBTQIA plus people, gender non-conforming people and their allies. It's, a really amazing youth project, but also the first of its kind in the gallery, focusing on LGBTQIA plus experiences.
Yeah. Well, that's what's fascinating is the variety of stuff. It's
Yeah.
not just paintings, it's not
No,
just
it's
visual. You got some design here as well.
So it really came from them, and we just facilitated putting it all on the walls.
Right, yeah. And tell us a little bit about what Gashka is.
Yeah, Gashka is our partner in this project. They've been absolutely incredible to work with. They're one of 3 Apollo Project partners that we have in the gallery. And the Apollo Project is a strand of events in our programming that focuses on young people. It's inspired by young people, it's run by young people and for young people. All the participants, the 16 of them, worked towards their Gashka Awards. So some of them were working towards bronze, some silver, some gold. And their involvement in the project and creating their artworks went towards their awards. So they pulled it out of the bag. We had all of the friends and family in like different intervals so they could have a look around. It was so beautiful. We all cried. It was magic.
Beautiful, beautiful. And is there any particular piece of work catching anybody's attention?
There's loads. There's this piece by Victoria. It is a series of over 100 origami hearts, and each strand is color-coded so it matches one of the LGBTQA plus flags. And then inside each origami heart is a little word or message. And throughout the run of the exhibition, Victoria is going to come in and unfold the hearts. So by the time we're closing on the 17th of October, most of these should be open for people to read.
So it's like a flower blooming.
Exactly,
Wow,
yeah.
nice. Well, thanks a million, Kate. I'm looking forward to just browsing the rest of the stuff, and I would invite everybody down to see this. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope everyone comes and enjoys it.
Absolutely. Hi Beth, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
I am absolutely stunned at your stuff. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm very moved by the whole thing, I have to say. How do you, get into a creative mind? How do you do that? Or does it naturally come to you?
I guess it helped that it was something that I was passionate about. We were talking about themes and topics that meant a lot to me, so I could get into it really easily because it felt important to me.
Such a beautiful variety of stuff. Are any that you've been drawn to?
Well, I love them all. I think Bevan's piece, down the end, the 4 portraits.
We'll have a look at it, yeah?
I think are fabulous.
Wow, they are fabulous, aren't they?
when I saw it all up on the walls, I was like, oh my God, wow, like this is what people have been doing behind the scenes of the Zoom calls over the last few months. Like I was unaware of like the amount of talent.
But it must have been quite cathartic for you to do that, obviously, yeah.
And especially like with the topic of my piece, I talk a lot about the rates of homophobia and bullying experienced by young queer people in Ireland. And I think that to voice a lot of that and to voice a lot of the anger and emotions that went along with that, that was very cathartic and very, it's not something I thought I'd ever be able to do, especially on a stage like this.
Yeah, and that's it, and that's exactly what art is about. Here, Robert, this is absolutely amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So this is my piece. It's called Blood. It is a piece in protest of the current MSM blood ban in this country. Currently, a man who has sex with men must wait 12 months in order to donate blood. And it's a waste of blood.
Yeah.
So my piece is highlighting how long a year actually is. So it's really visually depicting that 12 months and showing you that it's going to waste.
Is it real blood?
No, it's fake blood. Don't worry, it's fake blood. You'll be a bit lightheaded. You'll be a bit lightheaded after giving that much. I started doing my Gashka with the like-minded group in 2019. It's been so fun, and it's been really nice to do it in a space where I don't have to explain myself as a trans person.
Are you going to continue to create? Are you inspired to?
I think it's really important to do art, and doing art and doing activism. Artivism, I think it's called.
How do I say that?
Artivism.
I love it.
I think it's really important because art is powerful. It affects people.
I think you nailed it on this one anyway.
Nailed it.
Is there a particular piece here that you're drawn to that you want to show us?
I quite like this one by A.
Yeah.
So this
Fantastic,
is
yeah.
very fantastic. I just think it's so cool. It's just so it's just so funky, and I love the little rainbow brain inside that.
Rainbow
I love
brain.
it. It's so funky.
I want to touch the bottom.
Oh my God, where do you get them done?
Well, listen, thanks a million for showing us around, and congratulations on the piece, and well done, and good luck to you and everything in the future.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give it up for Mr. Derry Cronin on the piano, ladies and gentlemen. Siobhan Buckley on the harp. And Roisin Donoghue here on the violin. La da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da da. La da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da da. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me with your olive branch, be my homeward dove, and dance me till the end of love, and dance me till the end of love. La da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da, la da, la da da da, la da da da, la. See your beauty
when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know, the limits of, and dance me to the end of love, and dance me to the end of love. La 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 la. Dance me to your beat with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely. Touch me with your naked hand, or touch me with your glove, and dance me to the end of love, and dance me to the end of la 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 la
Classic Dance Me to the End of Love. A bit of a tango at the end for everybody at home. We're getting cards in here, getting some lovely cards in during the week from various schools all over the place. There's one from Australia, it seems, and pictures of dinosaurs. There's a dinosaur. So lots of people sending in their postcards from the edge and beyond the edge. Evening, Jack from Somerset. Have really enjoyed all your shows. I've watched you all through the pandemic. Thank you. Kept me going, J. Polly. Hello from Southwest France. Shiva Martin. We'll have to. Well, that your name will bring us on to the next section. Now, please welcome our guest, Aoife Cantwell, to tell us more about her movement. Starts with a name. And can you?
I need my glasses, Jack.
Oh, sorry, I'm springing it on you.
I think that's a scythe.
Scythe, is it? There you go. Well, can you tell us a little bit about Swan and Starts with a Name and what it's all about?
Will do. First, just want to say thanks for having me on. Love the performance, love the show, and thanks for getting us through the pandemic with your regular show.
And thank you, and thanks for lending us your husband, Derek, playing keyboards.
He's not bad.
He's not bad at all.
He's not bad. So, Starts with a Name. It's a cultural diversity movement, and the whole premise is how can you belong in a place where people can't say your name? It's something pretty basic.
We've all done it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not always easy. Nobody intentionally, well actually we'll get on to that, but people generally don't intentionally mispronounce names. But it's a real sign of respect if you take the time to learn how to say somebody's name. So our call to action, it's really, really simple. It's on your email signature, on your social profiles. Put the pronunciation of your name and use the hashtag starts with a name. And you'll see at the end a video where you'll get some inspiration. You know, you can be creative. The video we'll see has 70 colleagues of mine. I work for an Irish-founded IT services company, version 1, and 70 of my colleagues, we're seeing a shortened version, but on the website you'll see the extended version, and they got together and have given the pronunciation of their name written out. And what I love about it is the creativity and the humanity of it, and with some great ideas for expressing your name. We've got Maeve, like wave, Kyle, like smile. We're a footballing family and Liverpool supporters in our house. And I go for Aoife, like FIFA, without the F.
Aoife like FIFA, yeah. And you must have experienced this a lot with your name.
Yeah,
it's spelled A-O-I-B-H-E?
Yeah, now that's not my fault. Yes, it is. Loads of vowels, not the easiest name, and I've been called some sort of interesting combinations of names in my time. So yeah, I guess if you make it easy for people, it saves that kind of, there you are reading out a card and then suddenly you're going, oh, how do I say the name?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you give it to people up front, you can kind of save those moments.
When in doubt, mumble. Is that what they say?
Or smile.
But it is hard. I mean, everybody suffers from it, and it's not intentional. I mean, people don't mean to, but sometimes they'll skip around it or intentionally not say your name.
And then also some people, maybe I'm not that polite, so I'll talk up, but some people won't talk up. And through this whole process, I've come across a number of people whose boss has been saying their name incorrectly for forever.
Wow.
And then somebody said, well, their name's actually pronounced this. Oh, no, it's not. Actually, it is. So if you put it on your email or on your social profile, it leaves sort of no room for error. So.
Yeah, and the pandemic kind of helped you progress?
Yeah. So Starts With a Name has been around kind of early 2019. When I pitched it to the version 1 CEO, he was totally on board, and we did a video internally. But it was really only in the pandemic that it sort of took flight. And that to me was because of two things. And I think you've talked about it here on the show. It's like this sort of pause button. It wasn't, we didn't get a choice. Now, it didn't seem like a pause necessarily. For me, I was working full time with 2 kids being, supposedly being homeschooled. But somehow there was this space, this kind of fertile space that people had. So a group of us got together and we had artwork. The song that you'll hear at the end, that was custom composed by a young artist called Kira Mayo. We've had, there's a poem, a great website. So it was just this, people I guess just had this space. And then the other thing they had was sort of a conviction that it mattered. Suddenly overnight with the pandemic, we all switched to a remote world. You couldn't pull somebody aside in the hallway and say, how does your one, AOIBHE, say her name? You're on a Zoom call. I know people would say, I really wanted to ask a question, but I didn't know how to say the person's name.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of fundamental. So it's really at the first point of contact that you want to be able to say the name. So if you kind of serve it up to people, it makes that sort of initial contact more meaningful.
Yeah. So Gas Online obviously has made us have to learn people's, and if anybody out there on the streams, if you have a name that people can't pronounce properly, please let us know on the comments and send us the phonetic way to say it, maybe just to help out. Like Sive there, I bottled it when I had to say that one. And of course, your mascot, or your Swan is your mascot, and how did that come about? And I believe you have a poem maybe you'll do for us too.
I might. So I came up with Starts With a Name. But I didn't come up with Swan. in fact, when somebody talked to me about Swan, it took me a while to register because I just wasn't as cool at coming up with acronyms. But when I did put 2 and 2 together, it really resonated with me. And it took me a while to kind of figure out why, and I kind of had to ruminate. But in Irish mythology and literature, we have lots of swans, children of Lear, wild swans are cool. And what I really love about swans and the swan story is it is a story of migration, just like the Irish people migrating. And when you migrate somewhere, you want to feel like you belong. So I wrote a poem about that kind of feeling. So
can you do it first, please?
I will. Do you want all 24 verses, or I'll give you
maybe the edited version.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Migrating from a foreign land, with your whooping name in hand, taking shelter on our shores, we have not seen your kind before. Drawn to our humble clime, your glowing plume catches our eye. Weathering winter on our waters, we embrace you, sons and daughters. United, we'll be warm all winter. We will pass through flood and storm. We will gather close together. What's mine is yours. This is our home. Hooper swans in our core, free to wander on all shores, free to fly, free to roam. Call me by my name, it brings me home.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think it's a great initiative, I really do. Because it's an everyday thing, you know. It's and it is important, and there's nothing as bad as people getting your name wrong. And I believe you have a connection to Kamala Harris. Am I saying that right?
Well, I had to go look it up. So apparently it's comma, like the punctuation mark, and la, Kamala. I would love to have a connection to her. One of the early signatories of the Swan Charter is the law firm DLA Piper. And Kamala Harris's husband worked there. He's now on a leave of absence since she took office. So I'm hoping we'll get word to her there. But if anybody watching knows her and can get a message, would really appreciate it. But I'm going to have a quote here that was actually brought to my attention by the founder signatory of the Swan Charter, Harrow Council in London, and by the chair of the Black Lives Matter group. And this is Kamala Harris in October 2020 talking about your name. So it is the first gift that a child, usually when they enter the earth, receives from their family. It's usually informed by tradition and love and the hope and aspiration the family has for that child. It is something precious and sacred, and it's part of their identity. And when I see people fighting for the right for that to be respected and treated in a dignified way, I applaud and salute that. So, like, to me, she would definitely be on board with Swan. What's sad to me is her name has purposely been mispronounced, even by a senator. You know, she was in, it would have been a colleague of hers in the Senate. At a Trump rally, he purposely, in I think it was October 2020, mispronounced her name. And I hadn't really understood the kind of the sort of the depth of that sort of lack of respect. And on the startswithaname.net website, we have a clip from the Amber Ruffin show, and this, I'll quote from it, but I would urge people to look at it. It was an education for me, and it's, I'll quote here, "One of the only things black people really gained control of in the history of this country is what we name our children. When black folks got off slave ships, white people renamed us. So when we finally got some freedom, we took our names back, we took our power back." So there is real power in a name, and just simply, as I said, putting your pronunciation and the hashtag starts with a name can make a difference.
Brilliant. Well, thanks a million. Thanks to Aoife. And now let's have a look at this video and see a bit more about the movement.
However you come to be in a place where you feel free. Let this home hold you still. I'll hold your hand till your name is known and we share this land called home. Let's work for peace and justice. It starts with a name. Speak it without shame. Embrace me, and I'll embrace you. Please know you belong through words and through song. My place is yours, my friend. Let's work, let's mend. I know this isn't the end. It starts with your name. I'll say it the same as your mother does, as I should, because
Walk the ancient earth so long, since the birth of Babylon. Stared a sphinx right in the eye, just to think of you. Need Sahara skies all azure blue. Thought I'd seen it all till I saw you. Thought I'd seen it all till I saw you. All the wars that were lost at a priceless cost. Thought I found it all, but I found nothing at all. Till I saw you. Empires rise and empires burn. Another day the wheel it turns. Silly oceans, red and blue. Gobi Desert, Atlas Mountains, so all deja vu. Thought I'd seen it all till I saw you. Thought I'd seen it all till I saw you. All the wars that were fought for priceless cost. Thought I saw it all, but I saw nothing at all. Till I saw you. I'd seen it all till I saw you. Thought I'd seen it all till I saw you. Cross the sands of time in the great divide. Thought I saw it, oh, oh, but I saw nothing at all. Till I saw you.
Well, that was one of my own tunes, Till I Saw You, from the Magic Days album. You can get it at jacklukeman.com. And don't forget, the tickets are available now for the Tree Arena gig. Take a look at this.
I'm the king of Soho. I'm so far gone that it seems like home. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Wake up, boy, use your head. Come on, Georgie
And there you have it, and some messages coming in here. Forgive me as I read my phone. Thomas Quinn on the subject of diversity and inclusion. My favourite ever quote is from Audre Lorde. Sorry, I'm getting the name wrong. It's not our differences that divide us. It's our inability to recognise, accept and celebrate those differences. Love that quote since I first heard it. We all have the same cares and worries. And thanks, Thomas. Thanks for all the fun comments you're putting up. And thanks a million to Anne-Marie McGregor also for putting up some stuff I want from last week. Anne-Marie McGregor in Glasgow. I started a new job this week, reinventing myself of sorts. Gonna support GP patients to link to local resources. I'm excited. So getting some good ones in here. Let me see what else I have. Anna like banana. That's me from Anna Thomas. I agree. My son's Louis gets Lewis. He's always correcting. That's from Leslie. So it's Louis, not Lewis. About Gashka, super art is so powerful. That's from Michelle O'D. The earth without art is just There's Thomas Quinn again. And there's so many great ones here. I think this one, I don't know where this is from. This was a postcard that was sent in. Everyone said the world had stopped. That just didn't feel right to me. Then I remembered, reculer pour moi satur. We hadn't stopped or paused. We were drawing back to leap. That's so good. I tightened my laces and thought, jump, baby, jump. That's from James J. Lyon and Greystones. So there you have it, folks. Lots of fantastic cards. I have so many to read here, and we'll maybe take a pictures of them all together and maybe put them up online so you can read them all. And thanks for everybody commenting here on the stream. Also, it's a great crack reading this stuff. And thanks for all your kind comments about Till I Saw You. I'll also be in Letterkenny on Friday night, and I'll be in Cork in Cypress Avenue on Sunday night. Check me out there. It's been a great show this week, so thanks again all for watching. And next week I'll be joined by Irish ballerina Monica Lukeman, and it's all about youth on hold. So please tune in, as it's the last show of the series, and keep spreading the news about the show. And thanks to everybody on the crew here helping me out here at Another Avenue. And so it's good night from me. And in case you forgot, here's how you get in touch next week.
Hi, this is Jack Lukeman, and I'm looking for your pandemic stories for my new web show, Postcards from the Edge. Please send me your poems, songs, messages, videos, or even just a request digitally. Tag your content online with hashtag JackLPostcards, or send a message to any of the accounts shown here.
To post your postcards free of charge, send them to Postcards from the Edge, P.O. Box 13420, Free Post FDN 7530, Dublin 2.
Coming to my land, lay your paws on me, run your claws through my hair, push my buttons, babe, tie me up with your ties, let me be your slave. Yeah, 'cause it's a smoke and mirrors ball. You don't see the strings 'cause you're the puppet, you're the suitor. So I like girls and I like boys. I like leather, I love your toys. I like sucking on your heel, sweet and gore, how you make me coming to my room. Wrap me up in your rainbow, dilute my gloom, my gloom, my gloom. Hey, 'cause I'm hooked, 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 I'm hooked on your game. Riding cowboy, you're holding the reins, make me sing. I like girls and I like boys. I like leather and love your toys. I like sucking on your heel, sweet and gore, how you make me go. I just wanna feel. Hey, rock a hula, baby, baba lula, baby, rock a hula, baby, rock a hula, baby. We are together as one, unification, freedom, yeah, freedom, freedom. blue day, wrapped up in May, hey, the septic city singing. One glance, I was caught in your trance. This kingdom inside started growing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. These hands were made for working. Let me wrap them around your waist, oh yeah. 'Cause I've been so hungry for love. Come on, let's just have a wicked way today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Touche, there's nothing I can say, y'all. Cupid lips have spoken like some kind of melody. Sweet rhymes, in out of time, yeah. The windows are down and the doors are open. These hands were made for working. Let me wrap around your waist, oh yeah. 'Cause I've been so hungry for love, y'all. Let's just have a wicked way today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, the septic city singing. Yeah, the septic city singing today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Whoa. Up in May, blue day wrapped up in May, yeah, the septic city singing. Today.